In this video I'm going to show you how to make the most out of your Philips Ambilight TV with Hue. Make sure you stick around, and if you like what you see, hit subscribe below so you don't miss out on future videos. Hi, I'm Will from Surridge Tech, and today we're going to be looking at the Philips Ambilight TV. We're going to look at setting up Ambilight on the TV, the different modes and features it's got, and then configuring it with Hue to create a truly immersive feel. If you stick around until the end, I'm going to show you how you can trigger any event or scene using a Philips Hue light switch and Node Red. Remember, anything I mention will be listed in the description below if you want to check it out. My TV is the 55PUS 7304. From the name you can tell it's a 55-inch TV and it's in the 7300 series. When I was looking to buy last September, there were three main ranges within my price bracket. The 6700 series, the 6800 series and the 7300 series. Now the two 6000 series options were basically a big no from me because they run on the Philips Safi operating system, whereas the 7300 series runs on Android. This obviously has the added benefits of more apps and the ability to integrate into Home Assistant. It can also integrate with Google Home and Amazon Echo. Before we have a look at settings, let's see what Ambilight actually is. An Ambilight TV will have a row of LEDs on the back of the TV along the edge. The TV will look at the image being displayed and then will extend it onto your walls using these LEDs. For example, if you have a blue sky and green fields, the top LEDs will be blue and the bottom ones will be green. As the image changes, the colour of these LEDs will update accordingly. The purpose of Ambilight is to reduce strain on your eyes whilst watching TV, and also to provide an immersive feel. If you're watching a bright and colourful TV against a dark, unlit wall, then there's such a high contrast that your eyes are focusing on a really small area, and then your peripheral vision has nothing to do. Whereas if we introduce Ambilight, your whole field of view is being used, and this reduces the stress on your eyes. If you don't have an Ambilight TV, then you can use an aftermarket alternative to achieve the same effect. There are two main ways of doing this. You either get a little box that sits in line in your HDMI lead, so between your Skybox or your games console and the TV. This will analyse the image and then tell the LED strip that you stick around the back of your TV what colour to be. Or in the case of the Hue Sync box, it'll tell your Hue bulbs what colour to be. Alternatively, you can get a little camera that sits on top of your TV pointing at the screen. It'll analyse the image in the same way and tell the LED strip what to do. Now we can have a look at the Ambilight settings. At the top of settings is the style. There are 5 different styles and we're going to have a look at each one. Obviously when Ambilight is turned off you're just back to a normal TV. The first style is follow flag. This acts as though the whole screen is taken up by a flag and it expands those colours outwards on the pixels. Next we have follow colour. Again, this is a static option where you can select a predefined colour such as a deep red or a royal blue. After that we have follow music. Now these follow the music with a varying level of disco. You have some that just pulse to the music. Lumina also looks at the video and combines that with the music to react. You've got effects like a scanner, and then you've got party, which is just a combination of them all. Now this is the one that you're most likely to be using, follow video. The different modes have different benefits and are suited to different kinds of TV watching or different times of the day. Standard is comfortable to watch. This is your typical day-to-day option. It's not too fast or distracting and it's not too slow. Football, I presume, is set up for football. I imagine it's a little quicker responding and probably has a better response to green, but I couldn't tell you for sure. Natural is more truthful to the colours. It'll also turn off when the part of the screen is black, which is a very nice feature. Relax is quite slow to respond. It gently fades between colours, nothing that distracts you from the main content. Vivid does what it says on the tin. It saturates the colours a bit more, very quick to respond, almost preempting the screen by filling the Ambilight faster than the screen fills. Game is what I use. It doesn't light up if the screen is black. It's nice and quick to react and will only react to the part of the screen it needs to, so it's much more specific in the colours and which pixels it uses. It feels like a high definition version of the others. And lastly we have comfort. This is about halfway between standard and relax. It's slow but still keeps up with the picture. It's not particularly saturated, It's a comfortable view really. I'll keep this video playing so you can see the difference for yourself, or if you want, just skip ahead. Now we're on to the other settings. First of all, we have brightness. If it's too dim, you start to lose the colour accuracy and you don't really notice it. But if it's too bright, it can overpower the screen. I like to have mine at about 7, but it's all personal preference. Next up, we have saturation. At -2, all the colours are pretty much whitewashed, and at +2, the colours are much more accurate and bright. I find that +2 is a little bit too distracting for me, but I still like the vibrancy, so I leave mine at about +1. In advanced settings, we have wall colour. This adds an offset to the lights so that they match accurately against a coloured wall. For example, if your wall is green, it'll add more blue to the colours to cancel out the effect and give you a more seamless feel. Next up, we have TV switch off. This is a nice little feature that just fades the Ambilights down once you've turned the TV off. Gives you a little opportunity to get up and leave the room in the light. Now on to linking with Ambilight. We click Configure and Start, and it will scan for your Hue bridge. Once found, select it, press Start, and you'll have 30 seconds to press the button on your Hue bridge to connect them. Once connected, it will give you a list of all the coloured bulbs in your setup. You can then select the ones that you want to connect with your Ambilight. So for me, it's the 2 orbs and the Go, as they're the ones in the sitting room. Once they're linked, we need to configure them individually. When we click on a bulb, it'll flash so we can identify it. We can then select the angle that we want the bulb to be positioned in. It's annoying we can't select that angle to be at the bottom of the TV, only around the sides and the top. Also, unlike the Philips Hue entertainment zone in the app, you can only have it in the plane of the TV and not behind you or to the sides. Personally, I don't think it works as well having light bulbs behind you, as it's outside of your field of view, so it can be a bit distracting. You can also change the brightness of each bulb here if you need to. Testpilot have gone all out with their setup. They've linked 7 Hue bulbs with their Ambilight TV and have a video linked below showing off its full capabilities. Now we're into the Ambilight and Hue settings. In here we can turn it on and off. There's an immersion setting, which I believe is for the first generation Hue bridge, as it doesn't seem to be doing anything with mine. And then there's the lounge light feature. Now lounge light is the Ambilight button on the top of your TV remote. If you press this, you can turn the Ambilight on whilst the TV is off to provide a nice ambient light. Now the lounge light and Hue means that when you press that button, your Hue bulbs that are linked will also come on. We can also view the configuration and reset it in here. You may have noticed earlier that there's another follow option, Follow App. Now the Philips TV remote app is absolutely useless. I've only managed to get the Follow App feature to work once, and even then it wasn't very good. It was really slow and unresponsive. But in theory, you can use the app to change the follow mode or even set a custom colour or effect. If you've managed to get this to work, then let me know in the comments below. I said I'd show you how to trigger events using a Philips Hue light switch, so here we go. Let's go over to Home Assistant and into Node Red. You're going to need Hue Magic for this to work, so go to the drop-down menu on the right, click on Manage Palette, go over to Install and search for Hue Magic. Here you can click Install, and then the Hue Magic nodes will appear in your list of nodes. Now we can drag in a Hue Switch node, a Switch node and a Cool Service node. By using a debug node, we can see the outputs of our Hue Switch node. As you can see, you get different payloads depending on whether it's a short press, a long press, a hold or a release. Now we can use these to trigger different scenes if we like. I want to trigger my recording scene using one type of press and my festoon switch using another. I'm going to use the on switch and the off switch for this, but you can equally use the dim up or the dim down if you prefer. We're going to need another switch to determine the action we want it to trigger with. I only want my scenes to trigger on the long released action. That means it's been pressed down for a long time and now released. And I want that to be the case for both of my scenes. Now we join them together and test them out. By long pressing the on button, my recording scene happens, and by long pressing the off button, my festoon switch is on. Now by making use of the short presses and the long presses, we can repurpose these light switches to trigger 8 different things, triggering anything we like. And there we go. We've unlocked the full potential of our Ambilight TV looking at all the settings and features, and we've linked it with Hue. We've also unlocked the ability to trigger any scene we like using a Philips Hue light switch. Now make sure you hit subscribe below so you can find out more about my tech and how you can build yourself the ultimate smart home.